Hi guys, welcome back to a silent cast where we talk about anything and everything to games, movies, and so on and so forth. I know I've kind of been MIA, but not really. I have been posting, just not my typical gameplays or podcast episodes. I want to talk about something that you've been seeing on my channel lately. It's a passion project that's been going on for now more than 3 years. Than actually longer than I've actually had this channel. Yes. Now, of course, that being said, like, share, and let's jump into this video. And please, of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. See, I have a lot of passion projects. I said products. Projects, projects. I know I just repeated that like 40 times, but when I was trying to think about making this episode, I wanted to do it correctly and give it to you guys correctly. I didn't want to rush it. I didn't want people talking in the background. Because being mommy, it happens sometimes, and that's okay. It's just I really want to give you what some of it, obviously. I can't tell you the whole story. I want you guys to search and find out and explore. I want you to be invested in it as much as I am invested in it. So, it's a project that's been going on for many years. It's been inspired by most beloved series, FNAF. And as you guys remember, FNAF is something that was shown to me by my second eldest nephew. Shout out to you, Jakari. I love you, baby. I hope you're well. He is grown in the military now and reaching for the stars, and I'm so, so happy for him. He's doing great with life. But when he was younger and we would hang out or I would babysit him, I remember him being on the couch screaming. And I would come out in concern, like, what's going on? And he would tell me he's playing this horror game called Five Nights at Freddy's. And he told me the lore. And as you guys remember as well, is I preferred the lore more so than the games because it's not your typical horror game, especially if you played these games. And though the games, some of them were pretty chill, pretty fun to attempt or play or beat, the story is what got me. See, if you guys have not realized a lot about me, I am a huge horror story fanatic. When I watch movies, that's what I go for. When I play video games, that's what I go for. When I read books, obviously, that's what I go for. I like a really good horror story. And when I say this animation is inspired by, that's all it is. It's inspired by. The biggest thing when I was talking to Yappy Birds of Paradise, one of my dear friend and supporter of what I do, she we were literally up in my house and I told her I don't want to copy. I don't want to copy his dream. I want to be inspired by, but make it its complete own entity. There's things that I liked about his animatronics. There's things I liked about his story, but there's a lot of things I didn't like. So I want to take what inspired me and make a whole new baby with it. And that's what we did. So I want to introduce you guys to Benny. So I knew I wanted an eatery joint that's welcoming and fun, inspired by some of my husband's life as well, because that's when some of the passion products come from, incorporating your own life into it and allowing it to bloom, allowing it to blossom. See, my husband, though they weren't your typical farmers, they did have animals like chickens and roosters, and before he met me, I've heard all the stories about cows and pigs and all this other stuff. I came in when he just had chickens and roosters. He had a beautiful dog named Mocha and a cat or two. So I came in the later stages, but having this life where he told me how, he had to get up 6 in the morning and help out with the animals and all this other stuff. I was like, what if we did a barn, a restaurant inside of a barn, but it's updated. As you guys know, FNAF was very more, oh, they buy this building, but everything is falling to pieces and it's trash and it doesn't work very well. The guy was extremely cheap. Well, my story is the opposite. Yes, they might purchase something that was literally just an old barn, but they turned it into something that's lavish and high quality and welcoming for all families of all sorts. And yes, they have animatronics. And what I wanted to do with the animatronics was I didn't want to copy. Obviously, I don't want to run into no legal issues with copying, and especially since around the time when I kept working on this idea, there were some issues with I don't know if you guys played it. I played it once on my phone where you're at a police station and I believe they had a bear police animatronic, and I believe Scott sued him for it. If I remember correctly, he did sue them because it was too close to Freddy. And giving my opinion, I don't see it, but I didn't want to run into that issue. I always wanted to do a farmer. You don't really see a lot of humanoid animatronics where they're actually based off a type of human. So, and obviously, guys, I have not played all the mascot horror games out there. So, there could be a humanoid isk animatronic. But from my knowledge of only playing FNAF, and only now, as you saw, I played Indigo Park. That's as far as my mascot horror games has gone. I played a little bit of Benny or Ban Ban, but it didn't go very far. Not my cup of tea. But regardless of that, oh yeah, I did play Poppy, of course. They're not animatronics, but it's considered a mascot horror game, right? So I was like, let's do humanoid animatronics where they're welcoming. They'll make kids and humans feel more comfortable if they see a human-ist type animatronic. It won't be as scary, especially if they look like young children themselves or young teenagers themselves. So that's how I came across Benny. That was the name. No particular reason. It just kind of popped in my head. And that's literally what it did. And it stuck. And it still stuck to this day. I like the idea of Benny, right? And that's like, oh, he needs an older brother, right? Of course, whenever you're a farmhead or even just growing up, even I have three oldest sisters. Yes, I am the baby of three oldest sisters. Billy. I felt like Billy is not only a creepy name, especially when movies like Dead Silence have a puppet named Billy, and he's I cannot pronounce it, guys, so don't come for me. A ventriloquist puppet, and he's creepy as well. That's a really great horror movie. Check it out. Shout out to you, Mary Shaw. So Billy is just a common name, but I always felt that the name Billy was perfect for a doll and is super duper creepy, right? So Billy as the older brother. So from there we got all the animatronics we wanted to do. We wanted to do a dog named Dusty, Chuck a rooster. We also did Test a Tabby. We did also Lucky the Lamb, and it's so on and so forth. And I'll put them on the screen as we talk about them. So for them, we had a good collection of animatronics, right? And then, of course, like I said, my bestie, Yappy, shout out to you again. She was on board. She was like, I love it so far. And I kept developing and developing on my own time and free time of what I want this story to be. Obviously, it's a horror story, so it's not going to be bright. But also, too, I wanted to show how lively this restaurant was. I wanted to show, sorry guys, it tends to go black occasionally because I don't touch the mouse. And when I don't touch the mouse, you know how computers are. Okay, so my bad. But yes, and so I kept working on it in silence. Even my own husband, big, 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 major supporter of my channel. And so when I told him the story, he said, that sounds really cool. Let me know when you get the actual story develops, right? So the story basically started off with two college friends, and that's never changed. Nothing in my story has actually changed over these 3 years. The only thing is we added more to it and things like that, right? Okay, cool. So the two I wanted to do two friends, obviously inspired by me and Yappy, but not necessarily. I like the idea of two friends coming together to make a better future or success or whatnot. So I chose Rob and David. David was actually named after my father. Rest in peace, Dad. I miss you so, so much every single day. And Rob was not inspired, but the name itself, I was thinking Game of Thrones a little bit. And that's what I came with. And I also think I felt like Rob was just one of those names that were easy to remember, because I feel like you always have to have names to remember by, right? So Rob and David, right? College friends, they wanted to create this business together to not only flourish their pockets and create generational wealth, but also a facility where many families can go to have fun, eat good food, and have live entertainment. And of course, guys, you all have been to Chuck E. Cheese. And I was back in the time where Chuck E. Cheese was, at least the ones I went to, were bigger and they had all the many animatronics. I'm not gonna lie, some kind of freaked me out, but they also intrigued me. I was a kid that was always intrigued by the unknown, creepy things. Things that, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified, but I want to know more about you. Especially when they shut down and they just sit there and don't move. They're creepy, right? So I can't give Five Nights at Freddy's all the credit. It's been in my life for many years, seeing animatronics, like most people, right? So from there, they did what they had to do to create this business. So that's actually where the stories stopped. I've done little clippets on their personalities. Benny's more of the shy, kind of laid back animatronic. He's trying to keep, eventually, I'll get to the younger brother momentarily, but he's kind of chill and laid back. He's in the Barnyard Crew. They sing on stage. He's the face of Benny, so he greets people as they come in. So he's very, very, very much hi. I'm Benny, right? So Billy, he has a rodeo show. He performs and does like little tricks with the barrels and bulls and jumping through fire. Like he's really active. He's like a Brody. He's very big into sports, right? So he's the opposite, and also too opposite in the sense of his personality. He's more darker, antisocial, kind of keeps to himself. He doesn't really like the people. And the reason why I say it like that is because something that's very different that I don't really see in a lot of games is I wanted to make my animatronics sentient to where they're very much aware of what they're doing and they know what they're doing is wrong. Now, some dependent on what's going on in their scenario. That's why you gotta follow all the animatronics, not just your favorite ones, right? You have to follow all of them because some of them don't really understand right from wrong. They know it's considered wrong, but as we experience as humans, sometimes things might get in the way. A friend, a family, or someone constantly being in your ear, changing your perspective. And what you perceive as real, as basically emotional and mental abuse. And yes, these things are technically robots and they're not real, but the reason why they're so sentient like is David wanted to create animatronics that not are only likable, but they're impersonable by these guests. A lot of these guests love them because they can have a full conversation with them. They can socialize with the family at party events. Like they're very welcoming animatronics. Even the most newest but also very most aggressive animatronic Jax. Though he is scary and a lot of people don't like him, he could have a full conversation if he chooses so. Their personality is built off Rob. He went to school and he's a very great engineer. Like he's great in IT and tech. He made these animatronics almost real. He wanted to do that on purpose so they can communicate. Also, Tronic Buddy system in a working facility. When I say this facility, though, it looks like it's probably old in a sense because it's in a barn. It's back in those times. So when I say back in those times, let's say 1940, right? 1940 is when they initially started, but now it's back into the 2000s. Yes, this story takes place in the 2000 in present time, right? So, so he created these high tech animatronics, and he made it to where they can express their feelings if they don't like something, if they need to be updated. They also, when I mentioned the Tronic Buddy system, it's a new system within Benny's Burger Barn where employees don't check in on a time clock or computer or writing it down. They check in with their Tronic Buddy. And the way that system works is yes, you'll go figure out who's your Tronic buddy of that week or that month, and you tell them, hey, I'm here to work, I'm clocking in. And then they will scan the person, making sure they're dressed properly, they look presentable, they don't smell, and they look ready to work, and they'll clock them in. And that's how they clock in and clock out for work, even for breaks and lunches. Yes. And I thought it was just a unique idea. And that's what I meant. I went deep into this. Yes, I've created food menus for Benny's. Like when I say I am so passionate about this story, guys, I'm not joking. So, obviously, yes, things can go wrong with the Tronic Buddy system. Um, like for example, just to kind of give you one example, Billy. A lot of the employees don't like Billy being their Tronic buddy because he doesn't always clock them in. He just doesn't care. He's kind of over the whole idea of the restaurant. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you more than that. You got to find the clues, guys. Blues, clues, blues, clues. So, Billy's just not, he's not that kind of guy. So, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit of the story before we get into more of other things of how we got the animations and their pictures, right? So now working, helping me bring my dream and my story to life. Shout out to not only Yappy Bird of Paradise, but Batty Boss, Sir Jerry the Lost. You probably mentioned that name, heard that name before. He used to jump on my lives with me, and we played some Resident Evil together. So Jerry and my husband Stash Ghost. So here is the story, a little bit of the story so far. Rob Jefferson and David Lowe, college friends, had a dream in 1940, making a family eatery joint where everyone is welcome. Rob took up business management, IT tech, law, and robot engineering. David Lowe also took up business management, culinary, and accounting. To make this dream a reality, they took a small business loan and family funds to create the logo, LLC, to get their foot in the door. So I'm gonna put the logo up here. And now, how I created the logo, if you guys just go into the Play Store or the App Store and type in logo generator. Now, obviously, a lot of the logos generators are very simplistic. They're not very detailed like I want it to be. But just for now, I felt like the logo was cute, simple, straight to the point. I didn't want no extravagantic logo, but I wanted something that looked professional, but also creative. And so that's how you got the logo. Um, since David Lowe's family were farmers, David not only had land and old barns that were not being used, he convinced his family to have the land and old barns to make his dream come true. And as you could probably already tell, due to the flourish of the restaurant, it's going very well. And from there, then Benny's was changed. Now, obviously, there's more. I don't want to tell y'all every little bit of information in the story. Simply, once again, I want you guys to be interested in it as much as I am. Now, there's no holes in it like FNAF. I know he did that on purpose to entice us and make us want to go search and search and search, and that's really cool. But there's also a lot of things that still haven't been answered in FNAF. That's why I bring it up, right? My story is completely flourished out to the point to the little bit of detail to the first incident. So, of course, over time, guys, these animatronics are quirky. They have a lot of issues. Like, for example, in part of the story, I have it pulled up on the side as well. Um, so let me get to it. So, like, initially, give me 1 second, guys. They basically start getting lawsuits. They start having a lot of problems because of the animatronics, certain animatronics attacking, being highly aggressive, mainly Jackson Billy, but also Hare is guilty, and so is Pete, the pig, Pete the hog. So during this time, um, everything is still great due to these lawsuits, but of course, whenever the CEO David went missing initially, that's when a lot of their issues start falling out because David was over. He was the kitchen. He was a CEO, but he looked over the kitchen. He looked over making sure the animatronics had a great life. He was very homey and warm. Rob used to be, but he started becoming extremely distant and started having private parties with investors. So, due to his lack of warmness like he used to have, things started changing at Benny's. Also, too, the story goes, Benny, Billy, and Bo is inspired by Rob's three children, Biddy, Billy, and Bo. Yes. And that actually says it right there. So not only not only from the name Lowe's Burgers to now Benny's Burgers, named after Rob's second eldest son, David never liked the idea of naming the restaurant after a person, so the idea of live entertainment was on the rise. He mentioned he visited a pizzeria over a few towns back and enjoyed the show. So he thought it would not only bring in more money but more families. Before you knew it, Benny's were blooming. Monday through Sunday, and holidays, with 8 animatronics underneath their belt. Otis the Owl, Lucky the Lamb, Tess the Tabby, Chuck the Rooster, Billy the Farmer, Bessie the Heifer, Dusty the Dog, and Benny the Farmer. So that's you know, a little bit from what I written from the story. Obviously, I'm not going to read you the whole story. So Otis is more of an owl that is just a security alarm. He sits on a gigantic podium in the front of inside the restaurant in the front where the stage is, like the big grand stage. And he sits there and just scans to make sure everything is going right inside of Benny's. And he's not a small animatronic, he's a big boy. Lucky the Lamb, Sam. She helps more with Sam. They check in guests, they greet, they send them to their table, they interact. And Sam, she's actually one of the employees that are missing. And like I said, I'm not gonna tell you her fate. You guys gotta watch the clips. Um, and she's very high spirited, very beautiful smile, beautiful girl, high energy. Same thing with Chris, the waitress, as well. There are certain people that are brought to the front because there's a reason for it. Um, from personality, from the business, the way it flows with them, but also too, there's something going on with Benny's and that particular person. Okay. So, of course, when it comes to Benny's, they do live shows, cute sitcoms, birthday parties, church picnics, carnivals, school, and sports events. So they were very, in this small town, they do a lot of events to kind of not only make their money, but also get their name out there. It's a very small but big community. And that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted a nice little community that flourished with each other and were close. And though this town, yes, is small in a sense of, I don't want to say completely country, I would say more like a suburb in a sense. Um, they still had like their closest, like from house census, their houses like their next neighbor was about a few miles away, but they were still close in the sense of people knew each other. They knew who married who. They went like it was a nice, cute little. They have a garden where everyone can come and like if you're running low on money, you can get your food and vegetables, and that's actually inspired by Kai. She was telling me that her little neighborhood had a little garden and everyone kind of pitches in and takes care of it, and I thought that would be a nice little thing to add in there. So this story is not only taken from my original idea, it's taken from the people that I love and kind of putting its own little splash in it. So check that out, it's pretty cool. Now, that being said, obviously there's mysteries, missing people's disappearance, the M word, I'm gonna put it on the screen, and it's not all as it seems. Everyone's smiling and happy, sure, but it's not all as you've seen. Of course, the reporter Hugh Dangles on it from Tinker Times. He's very big. He's very spunky. He's kind of like a weasel. He wants to get the scoop. He would do anything for the scoop. And we know those people who are very big about their business. He want to make sure he gets his stuff, and he's been doing it for many years. That's why he's an older gentleman. So he's very big on getting the information. So that's a little bit about the story. Like I said, I don't want to tell you guys everything because I don't want to take it away. Now, how I created these wonderful pictures, but also these images, I'm going to show you guys actually how. So bear with me. I gotta pull up my internet real quick. So, whenever coming into this, I wanted to find a way to make free images because I could draw them out. I do draw, I do paint, but it takes time. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big animatronic type of person. I don't know how to draw robots to save my life. I'm not going to pretend to you guys. I'm more of an anime, artistic scenery type of painter and drawer. So I was like, I need help. So I came across this one. This is the one I've been sticking with for many years. So shout out to you, Neutral Love. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. And it's just to get the whole page because do it like this. Actually, let me just take this off. So this is called Neutral Love. NutriLove is a free AI generated and AI tools to create images. So you could do videos as well, but of course you have to pay for it, right? So I'm still logged in. So I'm not gonna show you everything, obviously, but this is what some things I've been creating over the years. When I say it's been going on because I have multiple stories, I'm not joking. So it's a free AI that you can sorry about that. That just popped up on the screen. But anywho's, we're just gonna ignore it for a moment. But go away. Sorry, bloopers. I don't even know how we got to there. Okay, Google. So sorry about that. So yes, so you can upgrade, and then of course I got the free one for now. And yes, every time you log in, you get so many credits, and then you can spend. Like when I first jumped on New True Love, there was no limit. I could upload quite a bit. I had a choice between four images that they pre-generate, and I'm just going to show you how it works. But right now, like I said, right now, obviously funds are tight. The only reason why I don't subscribe to a lot of things is because, let's be honest, I'm not going to lie to you, money is tight right now. So basically, I can't afford the premium. But of course, once I get there, you already know, guys, I'm already on it. So right now, I just use the free one. So let's go to my files. So basically, you can type in, let's say, um, I'm trying to think of cool, I don't know, cool dragon. Sure, let's put cool dragon. So now they do it to where it only gives you two images, square images, and it generates. It takes a little bit, but I felt like this is one of the easiest, most loving sites when it comes to this. Now, I didn't want to necessarily just come up with AI images. That was not my original idea. I wanted to go straight to animation first because, like I said, but didn't have the funds to really do how I wanted to do. So I felt like this was a great start to get a visual. So I just typed in humanoid, realistic humanoid animatronic. And then, of course, it took a lot of trials because it's not what I wanted. I'm a very picky individual. I can show you what I created so far. And yes, I normally come here first to get a basic general idea. And then I use Photopea, and I'll show you Photopea in a moment, to color change, to alter if I need to. So I don't want to, obviously, yes, I know they say whenever you type in the words, it's yours. Sometimes I really completely don't feel like it's completely mine because it's on a website and they own the website. But still, I know it's my idea, but still, it's one of those things that I have a weird quirk about. It doesn't feel like mine, but it's mine, if that makes sense. So, like for example, I love the way he looks. Look at this, guys. Now, I took this one because he looked more welcoming, more happy, big eyes. So as you can tell, the way Benny looks now, I'll put a picture beside him. He looks completely different. He's colorful. He's brighter. He looks less dusky. Like, though this is my image, I had to make it more of to where I was aiming for. So I put realistic humanoid animatronic. And when I said I kept running into issues before I did that, and as you can tell by the one at the bottom, it literally said Finance at Freddy's, right? So basically, I had to tell them what I was aiming for in a sense of what it's supposed to look like. So if I didn't put Finance at Freddy's or even just a thing to go off of initially, then it wouldn't have created it. So, for example, so this is me first playing, like trying it out. I put realistic humanoid four-legged animal scary. And this is what it came out with. It came out with these weird deers. And I felt like that's not what I was looking for. So then I was just kind of playing with it. So then And then I put farmer, animatronic, humanoid, creepy, playful robot, and this is what it came out with. Still not quite what I was looking for. This is more like an endoskeleton, right? So it was getting better. AI was learning, and it didn't start learning until I put mechanical finance at Freddy's because I think it didn't know exactly what it was going for. So as you can tell, it was getting better. Obviously, once again, it knew exactly what I was aiming for, not copying, but aiming for. And these ones are pretty cool. And then you got some color variants and things like that. So it started getting better. So I found the formula to get the type of animatronics I was looking for. And then I just put animals like lamb, horse, dog, cat. And this is what I use. So shout out to you, Neutral Love. Thank you so much for allowing me to use your product to make my story come to life. I just want to give them a quick shout out and go check them out, guys. Go check them out. It's quite amazing. Um, so that's actual Neutral Love. So then from there, I had the images. I got what they look like. I was very satisfied. Then I went to Photopea to color them, to change them, to alter them. And this is basically a place where you put your photo in. So I'm just going to open from the computer really quick. And as you can tell, these are what I've been showing you guys. So like say if you want to go in and edit. Now this is Sam. This is also generated through Neutral Love. So this is Sam. And you just go in and use it like photo editor. And you change what you want to, you altered what you want to, and bam. So shout out to you, Photopea. Guys, go check them out. Now to create the menus, I used Carvana or Canva, Carvana. I used this. I needed a menu. I wanted to be fun and creative, and that's how I got the menu that you see on the screen now. And honestly, I could go all to my projects and I could actually show you what I've created. I created newsletters and family trees, and I even created a training video of Biddy as well. Video of Biddy as well. Yes, I created a training video for Biddy's Burger Bar. I wanted to make it feel like it was a real place. And whenever you're creating stories, you have to go into that. You have to go into depths. Like, what does the food taste like? What is the people like? What is the environment? You have to go to the lights, the colors, the everything. The I even made like a little, a little training packet that you get from jobs when they give it to you, like welcome to the team. I made one of those as well. So of course I am so, and obviously this didn't take one day. This took over months and it took over years to find what I needed to make this dream come true. And to get the videos, now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, AI is not the best. AI is not perfect. And I knew it was taking a risk of getting AI, but I knew with that risk, I can get an idea out of what I was aiming for. So the last thing I'm gonna show you that I use to help get the animation is Vidu. Shout out to Vidu. This is how I got those cute little videos on my channel. And once again, you could try it out. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show exactly coming into this because I'm not going to lie. When I say I had some issues with Vidu, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not those kind of persons. I bought a subscription and I kept buying credits to make my dream be realized when it comes to these AI images. and tell me why my subscription disappeared and the remaining of my credits disappeared. And I was sad. Now, obviously, I still use it because when I'm the type of person, when I get comfortable with something, I don't just get rid of it. I find a way around it to still use it, but be careful and cautious. So they give you 20 credits. Right now, they give you 20 credits to use every day, and that's all I use. Shout out to Kai once again. Batty Boss, my babe, I love you. She actually bought some credits previously to help out, and we'll switch between her channel and mine to help make these animations come to life. So, basically, initially, we're just trying to get the story to realize, and um, it's quite amazing. You know what, guys? I'm gonna show you really quick because we are reaching the end of the we're reaching the end of it. So basically, you come in, you go to what you want. So let's go to reference video, right? So as you could already tell, this was one I created because I'm not going to tell you much, but you can guys guess if you check out the video. There's something going on, and yeah. So basically, you upload your images that you want, and then you type in basically a description of what's going on in this video, and pop, bam, you get what you need. And this one I put 12 tombstones of with stuffed animals next to them under a large tree with candles and flowers surrounding them. Atmosphere sad and warm. Obviously, sometimes it hit and melt. It actually hit it on point. Obviously, not completely because there's not 12. So that's what we're still working on when it comes to numbers. But for the most part, as you could tell by the shorts, they did pretty okay. Obviously, like I said, there's still some weird issues, heads and dancing and understanding, like, but it's so much fun. I'm having so much fun enjoying this. And believe it or not, it was actually Kai's Batty Ball, shout out to you again. That was actually her idea to put it on video. She's like, why don't you try to put the picture of, like, say for example, I'm gonna show you real quick. Let's say Otis. Shout out to you, Otis. Oh my gosh, you gotta get it right where it needs to be. Um, Flying high, but you also gotta put realistic humanoid animatronic flying high. So you got to. I'll risk 4 credits for this. Because they do take credits, as you can tell at the bottom. Obviously, I can't really change this because I'm not subscribed anymore. Yes, guys, I'm still trying to work on and getting my credits back and my subscription back, but we don't know what happened. We don't know if it was a glitch in the Matrix. We don't know what happened. I don't want to blame Video because maybe it was something I hit. Maybe I hit like a temporary thing, but regardless, I have to be careful when it comes to spending money because alone within a couple days, I spent like over $40 and it disappeared. So it's all right though. Like I said, I just love it. So obviously it creates what it thinks. And look at that, guys. So cute. And obviously you got to put the size. Obviously Otis is not that small. Otis is a huge um, alarm type animatronic, and that's why you see him so big on the visuals. And there's reasons for that too, guys. You just gotta find the paw prints and get the information. So shout out to you, Vidu. Thank you so much for allowing me to bring my drawings and ideas and stories to life. I appreciate that, and I want to shout out to all the areas. Shout out to all the people, the collaborations with Stash Goes, Batty Boss, Sir Jerry the Lost, and I think that's everybody. And Yappy Birds of Paradise. I want to say thank you so much, guys, for collabing with me and bringing my story to life. But also to thank you to Vidu, Love, Photopia, Canva. I think that's right, Canva. Thank you guys for also collabing technically with me. Not obviously, I don't get paid for this, guys. This is not a paid video. This is not a moderation video. This is just free trials or even sometimes pay, um, where I'm using their products to help bring a story to life. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. But guys, that's a little bit about Benny's Burger Barn. Of course, guys, check it out. Check out my shorts. Check out my clips. If you have questions, obviously I'm not going to tell y'all every little bits of detail because I want you guys to guess and figure out what the story is. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It's early in the morning. I literally got up and I was like, let me go ahead and make this video. It's time. It's really time. But I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. I will see you soon and enjoy. Bye, guys.